You know that feeling, right? When you're just stuck. You're lying in bed or on the couch and your brain is screaming, "Get up! You have to do the thing." But your body? Your body is made of concrete. Your phone is in your hand. You've scrolled past the same meme 3 times and the guilt is already starting to creep in. Yeah, I've been there, like this morning. This video isn't about just do it. Because if you're truly lazy or maybe just overwhelmed, that advice is useless. It's like telling someone with a broken leg to just run a marathon. Today, I'm going to share the real secret. The psychological trick that actually got my butt off the couch and, more importantly, kept it off. And it's probably not what you think. See, here's the thing. We don't talk about laziness. It's rarely about being lazy. It's a symptom. It's your brain's defense mechanism against something. Fear of failure, fear of success, or just being so overwhelmed by the giant mountain of stuff you have to do that your brain decides the safest option is to just not move. It's not a lack of discipline. It's a freeze response. Your brain sees the mountain of stuff, the emails, the workout, the project, and it goes, nope, too dangerous, too hard, let's just stay here. It's safe in the blanket. And the more you beat yourself up about it, the bigger that mountain gets and the more you freeze. So what's the secret? It's not motivation. Motivation is fickle. It comes and goes. The secret is momentum, but not the kind of momentum you think. It's not about a huge, powerful start. It's about the tiniest, most ridiculous, almost laughable first step. I call it the 1 sock rule. Seriously, when you're in that frozen state, you don't tell yourself, I'm gonna work out for an hour. Hell no. Your brain will shut that down instantly. You tell yourself, I'm just gonna put on 1 sock. That's it. 1 sock. That's the whole task. Why does this work? Because you're bypassing your brain's fear center. Your brain doesn't see put on 1 sock as a threat. It's so easy, it's stupid, it's not the mountain, it's just a tiny pebble. So it lets you do it. And here's the magic. Once you have that 1 sock on, what's the big deal about the 2nd sock? And once you have both socks on, you might as well put on your shoes. And once your shoes are on, you're already standing by the door. You've created momentum. You tricked your brain into starting. You didn't fight the laziness, you outsmarted it with a task so small it couldn't refuse. Let's apply this to work. You have a massive report due and you've been procrastinating for days. The 1 sock rule here is not write the report. That's the mountain. The 1 sock is open the document. Just open it. That's the only goal. Don't write a single word. Just open it. That's the only goal. Don't write a single word. Just open it. See? You opened it. Now, since it's already open, maybe you just write the title, and then 1 sentence. Before you know it, you're not writing a report, you're just finishing a sentence you already started. The momentum is real. You're no longer resisting, you're just doing. Or let's say your room looks like a disaster zone. Clean the room is terrifying. It's a 3-hour job. Your brain says, nah, let's watch Netflix instead. So what's your 1 sock? Pick up 1 sock. Literally, just 1 piece of trash. That's the deal. You pick up the sock, then you see the empty water bottle next to it. You grab that too. Suddenly, you're not cleaning, you're just picking up things. It's a game. And an hour later, you're done, wondering why it felt so hard just to start. It's because you stopped trying to start the whole thing. Now, this isn't a magic trick. There will be days when even putting on 1 sock feels impossible, and that's okay. On those days, you shrink the task even more. Can't put on 1 sock? Then just touch the sock. Can't open the document? Just click the mouse. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is just to move 1 millimeter. Because even a millimeter is still movement. It's still proof to your brain that you are in control, not your fear. And sometimes, just acknowledging that you can move a millimeter is enough to get you through a tough day. There's actual psychology behind this. It's called the Zeigarnik effect. Our brains hate unfinished tasks. Once you start something, even something as dumb as putting on 1 sock, your brain creates a mental tension that wants to be resolved. It wants you to finish the job. So you're not just building momentum, you're leveraging your own brain's wiring against its procrastination tactics. You're making it uncomfortable for your brain to not continue. And that's a powerful place to be. So you're not just building momentum, you're leveraging your own brain's wiring against its procrastination tactics. You're making it uncomfortable for your brain to not continue. And that's a powerful place to be. When you lower the barrier to entry, you allow yourself to actually enjoy the process. You're not grinding. You're just living and moving. And that's a much more sustainable way to exist. Over time, these tiny actions do something profound. They change your identity. You stop seeing yourself as a lazy person. You start seeing yourself as someone who shows up. Someone who, even on hard days, at least puts on one sock. And that identity shift is everything. Because once you believe you're the kind of person who starts, the what becomes less important than the how. You build a life not on grand gestures, but on 1,000 tiny, almost invisible, one socks. There will always be new mountains. Life doesn't stop throwing them at you. But now, when you face that giant locked door, you don't see an impossible obstacle. You just look for the keyhole. You look for the one tiny thing you can do. There will always be new mountains. Life doesn't stop throwing them at you. But now, when you face that giant locked door, you don't see an impossible obstacle. You just look for the keyhole. You look for the one tiny thing you can do. This is the secret. It's not about willpower. It's about forgiveness. It's about being kind enough to yourself to allow a ridiculously small start. It's about understanding that the hardest part of any journey is literally the first physical movement. And once you make that movement, you're no longer stuck. You're no longer a hostage to your own mind. You're a traveler. And every journey, no matter how epic, begins with a single step, or in our case, one single sock. So here's my challenge to you. Right after this video ends, don't make a grand plan. Don't write a to-do list. Just find your one sock. What's the one ridiculously small thing you've been avoiding? Just do that one thing. And then, if you want, come back to the comments and tell me what it was. I promise you, seeing that you're not alone in this struggle makes a world of difference. We're all in this weird, lazy, amazing human experience together. Let's be lazy together, but just a little less so, one tiny step at a time. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about giving yourself permission to be a work in progress. You are allowed to start small. You are allowed to be a beginner every single day. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about giving yourself permission to be a work in progress. You are allowed to start small. You are allowed to be a beginner every single day.